Welcome back to another video, guys. In this week's episode, we take you along on our weekend getaway to South Durras, which is just north of Batemans Bay on the south coast of New South Wales, a 5-hour road trip for us. This is Charlie, our fur baby's first time to the beach, and on this trip, we chill out on the coast, try some new recipes in the Weber BBQ, Ben feeds some fish, and we check out a local brewery.
Just parked up for the night at Jigion Reserve. Went over to the pub for some dinner and over to Long Track Pantry this morning for some coffee and brekkie. And it's pretty miserable today, raining, but we're heading up to South Durras Beach, which is just north of Batemans Bay. So we'll catch you then.
See you there.
Bye. Just pulling over to allow the 7,000 cars behind us to go past. Hello. So it's our first night here in South Durras and we're going to cook some salami and chili infused honey pizzas on the Weber. Now, you've probably seen us cook a couple of pizzas in the past, but we thought we'd go into a little bit more detail as to the equipment that we use and the method by which we cook the pizzas. So we're using a BBQ Weber and we start with a convection tray, but Weber says you can also use a couple of sheets of aluminium foil instead. We put the convection tray in the middle, on goes your roasting trivet, followed by your pizza stone. Now your pizza stones come in 2 different sizes, so just be aware of that when purchasing. We've got the baby Weber Q, so we've gone the smaller size Weber stone, but they do also come in a larger size, which is more appropriate for your Q or your family Q Webers. All right, then you go ahead and you heat up your Weber. Now, a hot tip we were given is not to place a cold stone in a hot barbecue because it increases the risk of the stone cracking. So now we're going to preheat the Weber on a high heat with the lid down for about 20 minutes. So let's head inside and we'll make up the pizzas. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is make your chili infused honey. So the ingredients calls for 1/4 cup of honey, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes. Now, we both don't love super hot food, so we're going to go in with 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili. So give that a good mix, and then you want to leave that so that the chili can infuse into the honey. Alright, so we're going to assemble the pizzas. Pretty basic pizza, this one, not a lot of ingredients. You'll need obviously your chili infused honey, your pizza cheese, your mozzarella. We're using a mild salami, you could use any salami of your choice. Some kind of tomato paste. We usually use the pizza blend paste of Legos, but we're actually just going to go with the regular tomato paste this time. We've got some fresh green basil leaves and of course pizza base. So we're going to be lazy again today and we're going to use a pre-made base. We like the Picasso Kitchen brand only because it fits so perfectly onto your pizza trays. So your pizza trays come when you purchase your pizza stone. So each pizza stone comes with its own tray, but you can purchase trays individually. So we went ahead and bought a second tray, and then that way if we know we're going to cook 2 pizzas, we can be cooking 1 pizza, preparing the other, and then it's a nice easy transition when you go to take your cooked pizza off and put your next pizza on. So starting with your base, you could flour your tray, but we actually find that we don't have any issues with the base sticking, so I don't really ever bother with that. So going in with your sauce, then going on with your cheese, then going on with your salami, and then your basil leaves, which I have gone ahead and washed. Alright, so there's your pizza, and then drizzle over your chili infused honey right before you put it in the Weber. Now, we also recommend that you keep a bit of that chili infused honey aside so that you can drizzle it on right before you eat it as well. I suppose it depends on how much you want on your pizza. And then onto the Weber stone. Now what that trivet does is to elevate the stone off the grill and allow the heat to fully circulate, so it leads to a more evenly cooked pizza. We're going to keep that on high, and we expect that'll take anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes. So what we've found is that if it's really hot, no wind, that it'll take about 20 minutes. If it's colder, super windy, it's going to take a lot longer than that. Also consider the thickness of your base. So obviously a thinner base is going to take less time to cook, and also consider how much ingredients you put on your pizza. So the more ingredients on the top of the pizza, the longer you're going to need to cook it for.
I'll just add one thing here. With the Weber BBQ, what we've found is that when we're plugged into our caravan directly, you'll find that the temperature doesn't quite get as hot. We think the regulator on the caravan gas bottles turns the flames down compared to when we directly plug into a gas bottle. It gets a lot higher. So just something to note, you can get it a lot higher on the temperature if you plug directly into your gas bottles. So it's been on for 20 minutes. Looks fantastic. Nice and melted. Here we go. Let's serve it up and give it a whirl. We're over at South Durras Beach at the moment. Off-leash dog beach, so we've got Charlie running around here. And I thought I'd bring the surf rod out and see what I can catch. So I went to the bait shop, Harry's bait shop there in Batemans Bay. Worth a stop if you're in town. Very helpful fellow. And he got me onto something called a surf popper. Now I don't know if you can see it there, but the surf popper has some kind of jig at the top and a backup piece of bait here in the middle, a sinker at the bottom. So we're doubling our chances of catching a fish with 2 hooks is what he said. So see how we go. Never used one before. Usually just throw a prawn on a hook and see what happens, but nah, always willing to try something new.
And what are we aiming for?
He reckons that we should be able to get a salmon out of here, so we'll see how we go. It's only, I don't know the time, it's about 9:30 in the morning.
Just on 10 a.m, so it's high tide now.
The guy at the bait shop sold me some frozen tuna. He said to cut them up some pieces and throw it on the bottom hook because they stay on your hook for ages. So let's see what happens here.
All right.
If you see any more footage, it generally means I've caught something. Let's see how we go.
Let's get into it. Did it get ya? Did it get ya? Come over here. Oh, baby. Did the big wave get you? We were ready for the wave. He's on. No. Fell off. All right. Well, he apparently almost had a fish. Will you watch this happen? Maybe another 10 times today. And he'll swear that he caught stuff.
The last time I was speaking to you, it was the morning and it was just about high tide. Michelle's probably got no footage between now and then because not much happened.
Well, that's not true. You cast it a bunch of times.
So what we've got now is we've got half an hour or 45 minutes till high tide, till low tide, I should say. Let's see if those salmon turn up now. So hopefully you see lots and lots of action footage from now. We just need to know what's the minimum size they need to be. Probably what's the maximum too, just in case I catch the maximum.
Well,
and how many can we, what's the bag limit?
I will start Googling as soon as you pull a fish out of the drink, hey?
Alright.
What do you got in there?
A lot of pippy bait. We'll see if this tuna goes no good. We'll switch over to some pippy.
Tuna's no good?
No, there's no fish that want to eat a tuna. So better switch over to a pippy. That's better.
Alright. How many pippies are you putting on?
Well, I couldn't find the parent pippies, so I'm just having to get a few little baby pippies to make it up.
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
Give the little pippies a kiss.
Let's go, pippies, come on.
Big brim, let's go.
At this point, I'll like just accept anything, really. Good morning. So we're late risers this morning, so we're having a brunch and I'm gonna try a Spanish style beans, chorizo and eggs. So what we're gonna do is cook that in our Weber large casserole dish. So we've been preheating the Weber for about 10 minutes now. There's some oil in the pan and we'll take you through the steps. We'll see how it goes. This is a first time for us. So you want to brown your chorizo, well that's how we like it. We're adding 1 diced brown onion and 2 crushed garlic cloves. So give that a good stir, pop the lid down and cook it for about 5 minutes. Alright, so to this we're going to add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika and 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Now the recipe asks for ½ a teaspoon of chili flakes, but as I've already said, we're pretty soft when it comes to hot food. So again, we're gonna go 1/4 of a teaspoon. Give that a good mix. And then you're gonna add your beans. So it asks for 2 cans of 400 grams. So again, stir that in really well, and then we're going to close the lid and cook it for at least 5 minutes. Okay. So with the back of a spoon, you want to make an indent into the mixture. If it stays like that. And you want to crack an egg into the indent. Sprinkle with some salt and pepper and top with some tasty cheese. And now we're going to close the lid and cook for a good 5 to 6 minutes. So that ended up being closer to 15 minutes, I think, because we lost so much heat out of the oven when we were cracking the eggs. But 15 minutes later, she looks pretty good.
Serve him up.
Yummo.
Alright, so it's fishing trip number 3 here at South Durras Beach, just north of Batemans Bay. Mixing it up a little today. We've got a sunny day, so that's the only thing that's really changed. I think this beach has no fish in it, that's what I reckon. But we'll see. I'm gonna try these pippies this morning, get through a few more of them, and then go back to the frozen tuna if these are having no luck. So anyway, we'll see how I go. What I want to know is, what do you fish with when you go to the beach? Do you use anything in particular? I'm not really chasing any specific species, but I just wouldn't mind catching a fish. What do you recommend I use next time? Can you drop it in the comments below? Love to know what I should be using just as a all-purpose bait to catch any type of fish. Let me know.
many bites, Ben? We're going on 50 minutes.
Not a single bite. I'm beginning to think this beach has been fished out. It's clearly not my fishing technique, it's just that there's no fish here.
Okay. So unfortunately this has been signing off an hour into today's fishing.
South Durras Beach is a flop.
So that is South Durras Beach 1, Ben 0. Please give him some advice.
It's our last day here at South Durras Holiday Park. We've just come back from a third unsuccessful fishing hunting trip. So yeah.
I've cracked the poops and want to go to the brewery.
We're going to the brewery.
Michelle found a brewery up the road. Broulee.
I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
Maybe we'll put it down the bottom of the screen here when we remember what it's called. We'll head down there shortly.
So this park is, it's a nice little park. It's about a 12-15 minute drive out of Batemans Bay, but we're right across from a dog-friendly beach, which has been wonderful since we decided we'd bring Charlie on this trip. Mixture of powered sites, some cabins. This whole reserve area that we're in here to our right apparently is Crown land, and they've just recently been unsuccessful in renewing their lease, so all this would have been campsites, but unfortunately they can't use it at present. Now, one thing to note is this park has bore water, so there are water hookups at every site, however it is bore water. There are a few points of rainwater around, but they do recommend that you boil your water before you consume it. So we've basically just run off our tanks the whole time and didn't bother plugging it at any point, and that's worked for us. This is our 4th night in total on this trip, and we're going to be okay, I think.
We are using the amenities for showers though,
yeah.
So it's not including the showers, so we would have ran out of water if we were having showers off our tanks.
Yeah.
So
but just for
fine.
cooking and, you know, washing hands and things like that, it's been okay. The park has a few little amenities. It's got a pool, it's got a camp kitchen, a guest laundry. They blow up a jumping castle every day for the kids, which is cute. Opposite the camp kitchen, there's a little shed that they open of an evening, and it's got a big flat screen in there that plays a movie every night, which is nice for your families.
There's a coffee van out the front.
There's a
That's
coffee
been
van
open
out,
every
yeah.
morning.
We haven't actually used the coffee van, but
might use it tomorrow on the way out the gate.
Yeah, which is nice. Go and get your good coffee, and I suppose they've got a couple of little treats that you could buy with your coffee. There's a basketball court here, a little chess area or checkers area. So again, some more games for the kids. But the big draw card here for us, which is why we chose this area, really was the dog-friendly park, which is a 2-minute walk across the road there, obviously off leash, which has been brilliant. Plenty of wildlife here at the park, so we've seen a bunch of rosellas, and you might see behind us there's a mob of kangaroos. So you can also hire a couple of pedal or go-karts and some electric bikes from the front desk. And outside of December, January and February, you are permitted to have small fires on your sites. However, they do have to be in the designated hired fire pits from the front desk. And plenty of barbecue areas around the park as well, so community barbecue areas.
All in all, we've had a good weekend here at the Big 4 South
Durras Holiday Park. All right, and on to the brewery. Let's go.
Here we go. So we've arrived at the Broulee Beach, no, not the beach house, the Broulee Brewhouse. They do a tasting paddle. Michelle's just surprised me with a pale ale, a lager, a pilsner and a red beer. Let's see how I go. All right, so we've just finished up at the Broulee Brewhouse, I think it was called, down there at Broulee Beach. Lovely little brew house there. Fantastic beer garden, dog friendly, and live music for a few hours there. Was it every night or just on the weekends? What was it?
Most days.
Most days they have one.
I don't know. We'll have to fact check that.
Let's just say it had music most days. Yeah, so that was good. Sat there for a few hours. I had the tasting paddle, I think I mentioned earlier. A good few beers on there. Not a fan of the red ale, but that's not because of them. I just don't like red ales, but the lagers, the pilsners, the pale ales, yeah, all delicious beers, worth a look. Shell had just a house wine, wasn't it? Wasn't anything that they made, just off the thing.
Yeah.
Just a shardy, so nothing to write home about there.
The food was good. We had the risotto balls with a really well dressed salad.
That's right.
So that was really tasty food. There was main meals that you could have got there, burgers. They had a fairly wide-ranging menu there, which is pretty good for a brewery.
Definitely worth a stop if you're anywhere near Batemans Bay. Also worth mentioning, we went through Mogo and we got a whole lot of Dutch licorice and some sweets from the lolly shop there. I think it's a lolly shop and ice creamery or something.
Fudge as well, I think.
Fudge, yep, it's got fantastic, all the sweets that you can poke a stick at. Worth a stop there. We didn't go to the Mogo Zoo this time, but we had a ball last time we were there. We were pleasantly surprised for what we assumed was going to be a tiny little zoo in the middle of nowhere. It was actually very well laid out and had a fantastic array of animals to see, so definitely worth stopping at that one too. We'll leave you there and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks again for watching, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already if you enjoy our videos. Take care and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.